I was one of the people. I said one of the one twice, but what's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. Today I'm gonna give you guys my review for Watch Dogs Legion. Oh shit, Watch Dogs Legion, which means mini. So when this game first got announced, I was pretty excited. I was like, oh yeah, no, Watch Dogs, yeah, yeah, yeah. I like the Watch Dogs one, despite how people felt about it, graphical, whatever, you know. I thought it was a great game. And then Watch Dogs 2 came along, and then I said, hey, I like San Francisco. I've been to San Francisco. Well, actually was born in the Bay Area, so plus points. Um, so I've been, uh, I've played a lot of these kind of Ubisoft kind of games. So let's talk about Watch Dogs Legion. And the game got delayed, I believe, about one time. Um, and let's just kind of let's get into it, because like I don't really know how I really feel about this. So in my opinion, this has to be the weakest one in the series, the weakest Watch Dogs in the series out of the three games. I feel like this was kind of a big step down. The game is very repetitive. The game is very graphically, it looks good. I have to say, in some areas, it looks a little bit better than Watch Dogs 2 in some areas. In some areas, it doesn't. The game definitely have glitches. They pretty much, I'm pretty sure they patched it after all this, because this is some pretty old footage I'm showing here. So the game's Watch Dogs Legion. So it's about London being taken over and overrun by some group. They're being framed for a crime that they did not do. And now you're playing as a character or multiple characters to reclaim your name, to clear your name, and you're going through all kinds of tasks, and you're helping out a bunch of people here and there. You're doing different things to clear your name, and you're taking down a total of three uh, enemies in the game. Three different villains. That you heard me right. Three different villains this game has, and I feel like that's where the game really messed up at in terms of story. The story is really forgettable. It's really done a million times in the games. I feel like they've done it, excuse me, a bunch of times in Ubisoft games. So I don't know what's going on with Ubisoft, man, but I feel like they're just doing whatever people like, and they just keep rinsing, repeating, and like they're just, you know, they're just microwaving the same TV dinner over and over and expect you, oh well, you like it, right? Okay, we're gonna give it to you again, and things like that. And like, let's get into like a little bit with your character. Now, there is no main character in the game, and there is no main villain in the game. Not until the very end you find out who the main villain really is, and you can pretty much kind of guess just from throughout the entirety of the entire game. So right here, I'm playing as an Albion character, an Albion soldier that I recruited. So pretty much the game allows you to play as anyone, any NPC that you see in the world that is walking around in the open world sandbox. That is not anybody that's main characters like that you see from the title screen that actually have names. Um, so Bloom, as you can see here, is actually in effect. They actually talked about Bloom a lot in Watch Dogs 2, and at the end of Watch Dogs 2, they really kind of explain how Bloom is going to be taking over as the new, CTOS or whatever or whatnot. Um, so fast forward 20 years later, um, you know, there's something going on. Now, Bloom has been infected. London, which is the first city that they infected. And now, they're trying to, but the whole watchdogs thing that oh, we're watching you. You don't really have privacy. And the game has lots of glitches, by the way, that you'll see back and forth in this video. So as you play as this character, you pick as anyone. The game really advertised, oh, you could be anyone. You could be an old lady, and anybody has their different abilities, right? Like this old lady here, she's an assassin, or not assassin, like a hitman, and she has guns. You don't actually have guns in the game. You have non-lethal weapon guns. The only way to actually get lethal weapon guns in the game is for you to actually try to find, excuse me, characters in the world that are that actually have guns, which I thought was stupid. There's no gun shops. There's no point in really collecting cash in the game. Cash in the game is pretty much you use to get cosmetic. You use to get clothing for your characters. Now these are all the characters that I recruited. Some of them I have, some I haven't. As you can see, that she has the gun. There's the eagle. The other character right there. Some of them have like cars as an ability. Some of them has uniforms to get in certain places that you can't. Um, if you will to, like for example, if I'm going to take down, if I want to take, if I want to take over an Albion outpost, and I don't want to keep getting caught because I feel like I'm not that good at the game or whatnot, and I just don't want to. I want to stealth it. I'm going to pick an Albion character to take. And the only way to pick certain characters um, for those factions is that you have to have. There's some skills you're gonna unlock that allows you to do deep profile, and then that will allow you to. I just got hit with that fucking bus. That will allow you to, you know, take those enemies that you wouldn't else take otherwise, because they're a little bit harder to require a little bit more effort to do. Each person that you do want to recruit will have you need to do their missions, meaning that you have to like, oh, go across town and hack this, or go across town and steal this. A lot of the game is very, very repetitive. A lot of the missions, it's gotten to a point to where like there was only a point where that I think there's maybe like 3 or 4 missions in the game that I found really cool and unique. But after a while, even those kind of get kind of repetitive because they kind of show it, you kind of do those same kind of missions later down the line. The game has glitches, man. Look at this. Like, I mean, Ubisoft, they can say whatever they want to say about their UI. They have the worst, not UI, their AI. They have the worst fucking AI ever in game history, period. Um, Touch on some other things. Yeah, the story is very predictable in some ways. Story is very forgettable. The ending sucked. The ending sucked so bad I won't really get into it. But the ending is terrible. I'm thinking, okay, there's something else, right? And the game just ends like that. And like the game gives you this AI, like British, like kind of like how in Destiny where you have that little fucking robot that follows you around, and they're like trying to be funny and give out like a little. They're trying to be funny all the time. I did not like that in this game. This game, that damn AI, damn thing that what's the name, Bubbly, Bixby, whatever the fuck it's called. Pretty much always giving you advice. He's telling you what to do. I feel like they put way too much emphasis on him in terms of giving his character because he wasn't really well. I'm not gonna really spoil that, but that's after you beat the that's after you beat the game. I know I'm coughing a lot, guys. I'm sick, but yeah, the game is very disappointing. There's no point in having guns in the game, or there is no guns in the game unless you fucking find characters that have an AK or a shotgun, things like that, which is quite disappointing. The city is very, very vibrant. I love probably the best they've done in their whole entire cities. Like I just love how Ubisoft do their cities. Their world are always very lush and alive. Like especially Watch Dogs. Like their cities are more alive than the Assassin's Creed games. But there, in terms of combat, it's pretty much the same. Hit and smash. This actually is a dedicated fighting system now, which is pretty good, as you can see here. You gotta dodge a little bit. You gotta be pretty good at dodging, but not too much. But they pretty much just fucking spam hit you right here, as you can see. But yeah, other than that, like the gameplay, I decided you can play as different characters. But I recommend that you stick to like at least, you can recruit like at least a good 5 to 6 people and you should be good. The only way you're gonna feel like you're actually playing as some character, just find some character that you really like, whether it's a girl that looks cute or a guy that's really cool or similar to you. And if you play as that person the entire game, and always let him or her be an Albion person, because that's pretty much you're gonna be infiltrating those Albions places on the map over and over and over again. That way, that's how I kind of felt a little bit attached to my character. There is permadeath you can turn on. I eventually just turned it off because it kind of got annoying to me dying instead of me really getting attached to the character. But I mean, it's a thing. You don't have to have it on if you don't want to. The cards in the game is also cars. I don't think there's necessarily too much customization to cars. You can change the skin of some cars. But that's pretty much about it. Or you can just change a different color, the color of the car or whatever or whatnot. You can change the color of the gun or whatnot. I feel like it was a little bit better how they did it in Watch Dogs 2. Clothing option in this game is pretty ass. I mean, like it's a lot of I don't want to say I got nothing against London, but it's a lot of London stuff, London inspired clothing. Of course, it's London. What do you expect? But they should have added at least a little bit of variety of clothing. And apparently when you buy clothing for each character, so if you have money, that money is shared throughout all your characters. Say for example, I buy a jacket for this girl, right? That jacket will not appear for my other girl that I have, or other guy that I have, for that matter. You have to buy that same jacket again at that same place or anywhere else that they might have sell it in order to have it for that character. So clothing is not shared across characters, which sucks. So that means that you have to have more money and spend and spend and spend. So like I said, money's pretty much useless in the game. You don't really buy anything but clothing and customization to cars, which is just skins. So money is pretty much pointless in this game, really. You don't buy guns, you don't buy weapon upgrades. You do have upgrades up in the game in terms of abilities. Some of them will allow your little spider to jump faster. Some of them will allow you to cloak, meaning you to go invisible. And then, for example, you'll buy it one time. They'll say, okay, 5 ability points. Okay, you want to cloak longer? Then that's 10 ability points. And then you can collect these points. The only way to get these ability points, you have to find them on the map throughout the world. So once you complete all the missions for that region of the map, it will unlock mostly all of the abilities that you find on the what you call it, on the map. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much about it. There's emojis in the games. Look at me being super pervert right here. I mean, like, Watch Dogs Legion was just very disappointing for me. Like, it's the weakest in the series. I mean, will I play it again? Maybe, but most likely probably not. There is one mission in the game that gives you multiple choice to do, to save someone or kill them. So I decided to just kill them. That's probably worth going back to. I think the game took me about 20-ish hours to beat because I was doing different things in the world. Yeah, I'm here, just looking at the different missions and recruits and stuff like that. You can also pick up helmets. I know helmets. You can collect. There's collectibles in the game. You can collect different helmets in the game to pull over your face when you go in a restricted zone or when you're about to do crime. That's the only time your helmet is shown. But as you can see here, like Bagley, that's his name. Bagley got so annoying. His jokes are not even funny. So, but anyway, guys, that's my review of Watch Dogs Legions. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I probably go too much in depth because I'm kind of doing this off script. I don't have a script, so I'm kind of reading from memory. And I beat this game like a couple of weeks ago. So, do I think it's worth it? I mean, if you're a huge Watch Dogs fan, I'm not a huge Watch Dogs fan, but I'm a Watch Dogs fan. But if you're a fan, I would say go ahead and give it up. You might as well continue to play the rest of the series, But from a Watch Dogs fan, I would say this is the weakest in the series. Story-wise, the absolute weakest. Probably the weakest story I've played in any Ubisoft games as of late. They try to do a little bit different things like climbing on top of, pipes and stuff like that. But, the game can be fun in some moments, but the game's got so repetitive, Eventually, I just try to do a little bit of stealth as much as I can, and then if I couldn't, I would just fucking kill anybody. I'll just shoot everybody, and things like that. Of course, you can hack a lot of the stuff later on in the game, like with drones and stuff like that. It does make it a lot more useful. The more drones and turrets you'll be able to take over, so it makes infiltrating outposts is a lot easier. But for the most part, the game is pretty easy. The AI is pretty much still shitty. The hacking is still the same. I just feel like Watch Dogs needs to do something different. I don't know what they need to do different, but they just need to do something completely different. Like, but anyway, guys, this is it. I've been rambling a little bit long too enough. As you can see, I just sneak by these guys and go in there and hack that, and then they want you to hack something else and hack this and hack that. It's the same thing. They want you go from here to here. Bagley will say some fancy, cool words and make it sound like you're doing something different, but you're not. But all you're doing is just hacking the same equipment, or you're hacking the same file, or you're hacking the same, the little puzzle game that you do to get all the arrows, like from red to blue. Same shit. It's the same thing. It's nothing too much different. I don't know why they spend this many years making this, but yeah, guys, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. If I'm gonna give a game, if I'm gonna give it 1 out of 10, um, I'm gonna have to give it 1 out of 10. I have to give it a 6. So above average. So I would say 5 being average, 6 being average, 7 being good, 8 being very good, 9 being great, 10 being amazing. So I would say it's about above average. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and give it a 5. It's an average game. It's not worth $64 for sure. I mean, if you can get this game 30, go ahead. I'll say pay no more than 40. But anything other than that, don't spend $64. If you feel like you want to, you feel like you're really gonna enjoy it more than I did, and by all means, then go ahead. But I don't think it's just worth $64. But yeah, so until next time, I'll see you on the next review, which will probably be I don't know what it will be. Maybe some cyber. I don't know. But I'll see you guys next time on the next one, man. Peace out.